coming in hot from Olympus Games in Mesa, Arizona.
It's the Pop Culture Junkie Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Pop Culture Junkie Podcast. This week, we're going to do something a little different. There comes a time in every podcast's life when you realize it's fun to mix it up. And so we are going to be starting a semi-weekly deep dive into some of pop culture's most important films by one of its most beloved stars, the one, the only, Keanu Reeves. You know, he's been having a little bit of a Keanu renaissance lately, a Keanu-sance, if you will. And we thought, what better time than 2022 to show our love, appreciation, and adoration for all things Keanu. And this week's lesson in Keanu 101 is fitting because, you know, it's playoff season. The last round of the NFL playoffs was like some of the best football anyone has ever seen in the history of all time. So if we're going to pick a Keanu movie, it only makes sense we pick a football Keanu movie. So we are going to be starting with The Replacements. But before we get into our movie, let's introduce myself and my fellow junkies. I'm Hayley.
I'm Nicole.
This is Alex.
And we miss Shauna this week. She is, as always, here in spirit and in our hearts. And I'm sure she is loving Keanu where she is currently and absolutely devastated. She's devastated she's missing the Replacements discussion that is about to take place. But we will carry on in her honor. So I guess you guys, if we're going to do a deep dive into this movie, we have to start in the shallow end and just talk about the plot, like what happens in The Replacement. So this movie came out in August of 2000, right?
Yeah, wow. That was 10-year-old Alex at that time.
Do you guys still feel like 2000 was like 10 years ago? Like when you talk about 2000, you're like, oh, that was like 10 years.
It wasn't. What was that like?
No, it was 21 years ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, I was
No,
two.
yeah.
So it feels 20 years ago.
I don't
Yeah.
know why time does that. Like, how does it just like be one time, and then another time the next?
Because time is a myth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
All right. So in this mythical year, 2000, we get this movie where I guess stuff happens. There's kind of a cohesive plot. Alex, tell us what you
From
remember
what
of
I
The
understand,
Replacements.
watching it, their replacements, their football players being replaced. I guess there was a strike or something. Football players weren't playing. They're like, oh, we don't want to play or whatever. This team needed to replace the team that they needed to replace.
And that's the name of the movie.
The Replacements. It starts Keanu Reeves, and he plays the quarterback. Who else is in it? Orlando Jones, Iris Scheif?
Resiphons?
Yeah, that one.
Irish Shife.
You just had the letters mixed up.
It's cool.
Oh,
cool.
man, I can't do letters or numbers.
It's all good. We're getting dyslexic on the podcast.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. Football replacements? What are we missing in the plot? Is that
I think
much
that's
it?
part of the... All right, so this is how I feel about it, because that's kind of like where I'm at with the movie. So I knew that it was about a team that had to find replacements, and they were, so they had a few games. They had to like learn about each other. Keanu Reeves, has this thing for the cheerleader. What's her name? Who plays the cheerleader?
So Brooke Langton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is Annabelle.
Yeah, so Brooke Langton.
Langtang.
Langton.
Brooke Langton, yeah, they play like that's his like love interest, and so they're like having their little quarterback cheerleader like thing, back and forth or whatever. And I thought that it was going to be a lot harder for this Replacements team, but they were actually really good. So it's like, and then at the end of it, you don't even see them go to the Super Bowl or anything. Like they just stop. Just the players decide to stop the strike, I guess.
Yeah.
They come back and they're like, "Hey, we need our jerseys back." Hut. And then that's it. But yeah, I was confused. But there were a lot of I thought it was funny because they had like its own. It felt very like 2000s. It felt like 90s, but I guess it makes sense because it's a film that came out in the 2000s. Like that kind of like humor. I didn't like get past like the stereotypical like just like cultural just like personifications of people.
Totally, yeah.
But like even like after that it's just like it was funny like they did a bunch of like there was like a musical number they were like a dance number they were doing. They were I Will Survive.
Yeah.
They were doing that. They had like the whole cheerleader competition or audition.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Which,
None of those
they had
people
replacement cheerleaders, which didn't make any sense to me because the whole point is that these football players are striking and they don't address at any point that the cheerleaders are also striking, but apparently they needed replacement cheerleaders. So that was really weird too.
That's my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah. And
The
thing is,
audition?
Yes, I know some of the cheers, and every time it comes on, I just
So these are
cheer.
based out of real things? The cheers?
No, I just memorized them
She's just seen it enough.
from the movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's like, yes, on my cheer squad in high school, we did the replacement.
No, they're just funny. Honestly, like the one is really good. It's like, if I gave you $1, you can keep all of the change because all I really want is a quarterback. Like, that's good.
Oh, yeah,
Honestly.
yeah. Oh, wow, yeah.
I was the one watching
Yeah.
the movie like, "Damn,
Like,
that was clever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing though, none of those cheerleaders that auditioned actually got the part.
No, it was all just the strippers.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
showed up one day.
Which,
Yeah.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was dying. I was dying during the so you have all these strippers who come in as replacement cheerleaders and then they're dancing on the sideline during the game, but they're not like dancing. They're like grinding on each other and like kissing each other and stuff.
It's art.
So they're
Performance art.
distracting the other team. And I was dying. I was laughing so hard. I was like, that is the most ridiculous. That would never happen. They would never get away with that. But that is, there's a lot of really early 2000s humor, stereotypes of people that, you don't, thankfully, I guess, don't really see that you kind of
Sometimes.
look past.
I mean-
not as much, I guess. It didn't go away. But yeah, so... But even like
That's
the
why we
sideline
laugh
stuff.
at it. It's a comedy.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk. Well, let's talk characters. So, the cast you mentioned, we got Keanu Reeves. Obviously, it's about him.
101.
Gene Hackman plays the coach, Jimmy McGinty.
Gene Hackman.
I-
That sounds like a very famous name.
He is very famous. He's been in like a million things.
Wow, a million. That's a lot of work.
I mean, actually, though, if you go look at like his body of work, it's kind of crazy. So he's been in he has 102 acting credits on IMDb, and they're not like dollar store, like dollar bin acting credits like Keanu Reeves has a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like, do we go to like Gene Hackman like 301 or something? Is that like that kind of level like acting?
I mean,
Because Keanu Reeves
Yeah.
and like The Replacements and even other movies like we've like because there's Keanu Reeves has a ton of movies. I didn't even know this Replacements one even existed.
right.
Yeah, and I thought at least like Gene Hackman, like he was like I thought they had like a really good connection. You can tell that he's seasoned. When I watched him, I was like, yeah, you can tell like he does
Oh,
this
yeah.
stuff. And so like I felt bad for Keanu Reeves, who's more, to me, I feel like he's kind of just like in the same level when it comes to just like his performance and taking on a character. I kind of see a lot of the same kind of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Not saying that he isn't talented, not saying that
He's kind of
can't
playing
catch my
himself a
attention.
little bit.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's himself. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But it's Keanu Reeves doing the thing on the screen.
It reminds me. I think there's a lot of actors like that. Like Owen Wilson comes to mind as an actor who kind of is the
But
same
I like
type of
him
person.
too.
Yeah.
I do too. Or even like, I don't know, like Vince Vaughn
I was
kind of
just about to
always
say him. Yeah.
yeah, kind of plays the same type of thing. So it's almost like if it's not broke, don't fix it.
True.
Like and it's not. I mean, but Gene Hackman, yeah, you're talking about. So you take Keanu, right, and you put him opposite this guy that was in The Firm, The Quick and the Dead, Birdcage, Get Shorty, Enemy of the State, like these serious.
I don't know any of
serious
those.
movies. Really? You
I don't
haven't
know
heard
any of those.
The Royal Tenenbaums. No.
Is that a person?
Okay, our next deep dive is going to be about Owen Wilson movies, and we're going to dive in to the Royal Tenenbaums. But anyway, what the most interesting thing to me about Gene Hackman was he had this prolific acting career. And I'm watching The Replacements, and I'm like, I haven't seen Gene Hackman in like anything lately. He retired. He hasn't
After
made a
this
movie
movie, or-
since 2004.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting.
I just realized that was. I mean, yeah, we were talking about how 2000 isn't 10 years ago.
Right? Okay, who's your favorite character in the movie?
I I like Jon Favreau's character. Yeah, he was really into that.
Bateman.
Yeah. He's just like this like big, goofy man, just like aggressive.
For no reason.
Oh, yeah, football.
Always has a bloody nose.
Crush.
My favorite, this is just very random because it's pretty recent. I have two now that this one's being brought up. I do like John Madden because he's playing himself and he just died in December.
Rest in peace.
So I like that and how his legacy kind of lives on in this movie doing what he's doing. And my other favorite character is Jamal Jackson. He's the one that is when they're out in the parking lot and the other team, the original team comes out and they mess with Shane's car. And
is he the other quarterback?
No, Shane Falco's the quarterback.
He's the one that shoots the car.
Yeah, he shoots up the car and he's like, oh, you're going to say this? And he turns around and shoots the other quarterback's car. I really like him. I think he's just really funny and plays his role very good in that movie.
Yeah, he's played by Faison Love.
Oh, that's Faison Love's character? Okay, yeah. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, too, is Faison Love and Jon Favreau both later appear in a movie called Couples Retreat.
And Elf.
They're in Elf together?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He plays the store manager, and then Jon Favreau is the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Bateman's my favorite character, too. I also really liked Orlando Jones as Clifford Franklin because he's just goofy. And can I tell you guys a quick story about Orlando Jones?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I have like a deep affinity for him. So my husband and I, we went to Comic-Con one year, and one of many in San Diego. And Sci-Fi, like the Sci-Fi Network, was doing this thing where they're like, we have a wedding chapel and we're going to marry some nerds like while we're here. And they're like, even if you're already married. And we walk by, we're like, oh, we're already married. They're like, well, renew your vows. We're like, okay. So we sign up kind of like last minute
sweet.
for the moment thing. They're like, be here, tomorrow at 1:00. We show up. And Orlando Jones is the officiant.
Oh,
And
that's
so
crazy.
we got to walk down the aisle and have Orlando Jones renew our wedding vows. I was wearing like a Power Rangers t-shirt. It was not well planned. We had like plastic rings with like Superman logos on
this sounds
them.
perfect, honestly.
was awesome.
That's a great way to do it.
One of the coolest parts about it was Orlando Jones was in this movie with David Duchovny called Evolution. And he's like a big time X-Files fan, big time, X-Files nerd. And we told him my husband and I actually met because of the X-Files, and he like flipped out. He's like, this is the coolest thing. Like he was so excited. So anyway, big long time memory for us, like all time memory. And our Wi-Fi password at our house is actually Orlando Jones.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To commemorate.
Any of Haley's neighbors need Wi-Fi. There you go.
It's Orlando Jones. All lowercase. Okay, who else? Reese Ifans is in this movie. He plays the kicker.
Yeah. I was trying to remember where I recognize his face. But apparently I've seen him everywhere but nowhere at the same time. I don't understand how that happens.
He's been in quite a few things.
I look at him and I just think of Cobra Kai.
He's in Cobra Kai?
No, he just looks like whatever his name is in Cobra Kai.
I can see him being in Cobra Kai. But
You think he looks like Billy Zabka?
Yeah.
Dude, that's offensive to Billy Zabka.
No, okay. Look at that picture.
I guess a little bit. He was in Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like he was, yeah. We've been talking about that.
Yeah.
Dr. Connors, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The lizard.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why. Because he's the lizard the entire time in the movie.
Yeah.
So how do you even know? But yeah, in The Amazing Spider-Man, we see him as the guy before the lizard.
Once he turns. Spoilers. I always see him as Notting Hill. In Notting Hill, he plays Hugh Grant's roommate who just walks around in his underwear all the time and is like wildly inappropriate. So, and in this movie, he plays kind of a version of that. He's smoking all the time and is just kind of
So he plays football.
He's wiry.
Is he like football, like European, like football, or
football.
like?
Yeah, he's a footballer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
the
why he's
beginning
the
of the
kicker.
movie. He's soccer, and that's
Okay.
That's why they get him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about I want to talk about just the scenes in this movie, scenes that stuck out to you, scenes that maybe some scenes that worked or some scenes that you feel didn't work. Like when you think about it, the replacements, what's like that scene that sticks in your head, sticks with you after you're done watching it?
For me, I know it's very dumb and it's nothing related to football, but it's the beginning of the movie when Keanu Reeves' car gets kind of dumped on its side in the parking lot, and then Brooke Langton, Annabelle, has to drive him home, and she's just driving like absolutely crazy in the streets. And you could just see in his face that he's totally regretting accepting this offer
He's
for him
having
driving.
a normal conversation.
Yeah.
Everything's okay.
He's like holding out for his life in this Jeep that has no doors on it.
She's like off-roading.
Yeah, and it's a busy street going down, and that just, whenever I think of the replacements, I just think of that scene or the cheerleader audition scene.
Yeah.
Like, those two just stick out in my mind when I think of this movie.
My favorite part about that driving scene is there's no reason. There's no explanation as to why she's driving. Like, there's no acknowledgement of it at any point. She just drives away.
Absolutely no purpose.
And he's like, okay, drive safe when she leaves.
Yeah,
and she's
it's
like,
over.
yep.
It doesn't come up again.
Exactly. Like, she still makes it to work. So apparently
It's working.
Yeah.
She leaves 2 minutes before her shift starts because she gets there. And
Oh, yeah. She also has that bar, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's busy. You know? She got a lot on her mind. Yeah. I think about the bar fight, actually, when they all like become a team. And you can already tell, like, beforehand, I felt like they were already a team anyways. Like, I kind of like felt like they just needed to break through that. But like, this is when they finally came together. And then that's how later they got in jail and they were doing the whole, hold down. But
Very Remember the Titans, that dance sequence.
yeah, see, I thought they were gonna bring that dance sequence back on the field. Like they were gonna do a whole play.
At the very, very end. Like
It
in
was
the
a celebration.
credits
I
or
thought they were like gonna be like, hut, oh,
in the middle of the
toss
game.
it in. Everybody's like, what? It's a touchdown.
Yes, I think like if I were to show somebody one scene from The Replacements and be like, this is The Replacements, I would show them the scene where the guard pukes up eggs all over the field.
Oh man!
And then they all start puking up eggs, and then they all move in like a weird shuffle sequence away from the egg bomb.
See, that's teamwork.
Wow.
It was a very nice movie. There was a really good ensemble, and they worked well together. And you can see it there. Like that takes coordination. You know.
No, I
That was
always
funny.
have to ask my mom, when do they throw up, because I get so nauseous. And the fact that I know it's eggs, and eggs are just so delicious to me. I love eggs. It's just really hard to put the two and two together and actually.
You're ruining eggs for me.
Yeah, and
So you would
Yeah.
have been the one vomiting all over the place.
yeah, it wouldn't have been eggs. I mean, yeah, it could have been, because I probably would have been eating eggs with them. But
Nobody cleaned it up afterwards either. They just
No.
like stayed there
Yeah.
throughout the game.
It was on their
That's,
cleats.
yeah, no, that's
Gross.
a safety hazard.
Nicole's getting nauseous. as
yeah,
we speak.
seriously, I hate throw up.
Soft boiled eggs.
That's why I'm never having kids.
Yeah, you deal with a lot of throw up when you have kids. That's for sure. I've been thrown up like enough times. It's different though when it's like formula, because you're just like, whatever. This is almost like kind of cute sometimes. But then when it turns chunky, you're like, no,
Ooh,
I'm over it.
Don't even use that word.
I haven't gotten there yet. I have not gotten there yet.
You'll get there.
And
Just
I cook
wait.
a lot of eggs.
And when it's in your bed in the
Okay.
middle of the night,
You guys
crawl
can
into your
finish up
bed.
the podcast. I'm leaving.
I gotta address some other plot holes in this movie.
Okay.
Because I feel like there were many, but there were two, aside from the Jeep driving, there were two others that stuck out where I was like, what is going on? So there's one where the OG quarterback comes back, right? And he takes over for Keanu Reeves again, and he's a jerk for... I love, by the way, how they painted the NFL just like as absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Like they're the worst human beings on the planet. But he comes back and he's kicking Keanu out of the locker room, and he's like, she deserves better, man. Like, she's better than you. And I'm like, what is that? There, at no point in the movie has that ever been part of the plot, that this quarterback and the cheerleader had anything going on. They didn't even acknowledge that, like, they even really knew each other. And now suddenly it's like, she deserves better than you. Like, does he like her? Is he
I
trying to
didn't
get
catch
with her?
that.
Probably.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even make sense hearing it again because it's like, yeah, they didn't bring that up.
No.
Is like, how does he know that they're interested in each other?
Right. Yeah.
Also, why does he care?
How does he know at all? He hasn't been anywhere where they've even like interacted except for like, I don't know, maybe saying hi to each other on the field. I don't know. That bugged me. And then Rhys Ifans' character, he's got like the mob guys or whatever coming after him to break his legs. So, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, he needs to kick and he can't kick.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I walked away when this happened. So
Okay.
I was like, why can't he kick?
He's
Does his
trying to
neck hurt?
kick, but he can't kick because these guys are going to come break his legs and he's freaking out. And Keanu sees it, which, by the way, it doesn't matter what character Keanu plays. I always call him Keanu. So I know that he was Falco or whatever. But anyway, so Keanu sees it and he's like, I'm going to save this situation or whatever by throwing a pass or something instead. But then he's crying. He's like, I had the money, but I pissed it all away, and they're coming after me. Zero resolution for that. None at all. So the game, and he's all, thanks, man. Thanks for saving me from that.
Like, they carried him away like he was limping too, like he was hurt.
He broke his arm because he slipped and fell. And that was really funny. He kicked himself up in the air and landed on his arm.
Yeah.
But zero resolution. So now we got a guy with a broken arm who, as far as we know, is going to get jumped in the parking lot after the game and get his legs broken. And they don't address that. And we're just supposed to be like, I will survive at the end. It makes no sense. I was just, I was like, I feel like there must be like deleted scenes or something.
There has to be, because there are a lot of plot holes. I didn't realize how much of a mess it was until we talked about it. Because then I played it and I was like, oh, that's just another movie. But you're right. Nothing makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. But
It's not
still a
addressed.
really good movie in my opinion.
I mean, does
I
it have
see
to be
on,
addressed?
I'll turn it on.
Yeah. Do we have to have these plot holes filled? No, not really. But does it bug me and will it keep me up at night? Yes. Did you guys, what about the sharing your, you remember they're in the locker room and they're like, Gene Hackman's like, share your fears. What are you, and they're all like spiders or whatever. And then Keanu's like trying to get all serious. Was I the only one that like laughed during that whole
No.
thing? Because I felt like they were trying to get like real serious and have like a touching moment. And I was just like, this is stupid.
We were just
Quicksand.
talking about spiders.
Yeah. Quicksand. Is that what it was?
Quicksand. Yeah. He's like, no, I don't mean actual quicksand. And he's like, well, then explain to them what you mean. Like, okay.
I've never. That whole thing didn't make any sense to me.
And I was like, quicksand is a good fear. And then he's like, no, not act. I'm like, what?
Well, he then brought it back. Keanu then brought it back to how being on the field or whatever his fear was related to quicksand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They brought it back around somehow.
As he's talking, it zooms in on Jon Favreau as if he's like having some sort of realization about something. And then that's never addressed at any point. It zooms in on him and you're thinking, oh, maybe his character's going to change or we're going to have some revelation here. And then he just goes back out on the field with a bloody nose and beats guys to like a bloody pulp.
So yeah, first of all, his face was always bloody.
Always,
I don't get it. Like, so
Always.
I had never seen him hit anything. Also, like his helmet is on.
Yeah.
It's like right on his
Aggressive.
nose, and it just shows up.
Yeah.
So it just like bleeds when it wants.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was watching it, and he's like comes out all bloody, and they're just having a conversation. The coach is like, go back out there and like do your thing. And he's like, yeah, coach. And I'm like, he has a bloody face.
Yeah.
Are we not going to attend to his face?
My favorite is too when in the beginning of the movie when Keanu Reeves is wearing his red jersey and then Jon Favreau will just tackle him and he's like, I just see red and I think of a bull.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I know. And then he tackles the cheerleaders because they're all in red. It's like his sole existence as a character was to just be this weird, violent wrecking ball.
Yeah.
But he did it so well.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. And he looked so different.
Yeah.
When he first came on the
Yeah.
screen, I was like, holy crap, that is not happy. That's not happy.
And then also going back to the fear scene when Keanu Reeves does say quicksand and then the coach is like, okay, explain that. And every single player just turns around and looks directly at him. And
I know.
That part's just so funny too.
It was it was very for one of the I guess cliches or tropes in like these sports movies is like the motivational moment, the motivational speech. And I remember that happening and he's talking about fears. Keanu jumps in with the quicksand and I was like, this is gonna be it, you guys. This is gonna be the motivational moment, the motivational speech. And all we got was quicksand, and it didn't make any sense.
No, not at all.
And Gene Hackman had nothing to add to it. I kept
That's
waiting
right.
for the coach
I
to be
forgot
like,
he was there.
Yeah, he did. He just sat. He was like the teacher who comes in and sits on the desk and is like, I don't want to teach you guys today, so you guys just tell me what's going on. I was like, what kind of coach is this? I don't know. There was a lot that bugged me. But overall, it was.
Have you watched this movie before watching it again? How many times have you watched it?
This is the first time I'd watched it.
Really? I didn't catch any. You caught a whole lot more than I did.
Dude,
I just knew it happened.
I'm critical.
I will not admit how many times.
Oh, come on. I want to know. More than 2?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
More than
Like your comfort movie?
more than 5.
No. No.
5.
Oh, okay, I've
5 on
seen
the-
it more than
5 on the
5
dot.
times, but not like 5 times all the way through.
Okay. I get it, though.
My
We
mom
all-
really enjoys this movie, so I will watch it for her and enjoy it with her. But that's probably the only reason why I've seen it that many
Does
times.
she have a crush on Keanu?
No.
Oh, I was going to say.
No.
Because
Her man
he is a
crush is
selling
Kevin Costner.
Oh, yeah. He's a good one. Because Keanu is a selling point for me. Like,
Yeah.
I like him. He's so likable. So
What
it's
did
like,
it? Like, what made Keanu? Because I can't even think. I got introduced to Keanu through Hardball, but I also know he was in Matrix, and yeah, I mean that's kind of like how I like known him. But like what? And then Speed too. I mean, I knew about Speed, but I didn't know he was the
Yeah.
Speed guy.
yeah, because I mean, he got real big in the 90s and he's managed to kind of maintain this career longevity. And I think now he's so beloved for the same reason kind of like Brendan Fraser is. Whereas, you have these people who've been around for such a long time and it seems like every year more and more stuff is revealed about how awful, people are. But Keanu is like, it's the opposite. It's like every year you learn more and more things about how wonderful he is.
Yeah.
And how kind he is. And no one has a bad word to say about him. So I think now we watch Keanu Reeves movies, not because we necessarily care about Keanu Reeves movies, but because we just like him as a person.
Yeah.
But I care about Keanu Reeves movies. I feel that way. Like I feel like I want to watch John Wick, and I want to watch. I've never watched Bill and Ted, but I want to watch it really bad because I enjoy Keanu. I don't feel like he's like top par, actor. Like I mean, he's good. He could get the job done.
Yeah.
He turns in like even keeled performances like every time. Like he doesn't have like bad performances.
Yeah.
So it's
exactly.
kind of, but like how you were saying, your mom likes this movie and you've seen it a bunch. Like I feel like we all have like comfort movies.
Yeah.
That we turn on. Just you don't have to think. You can just watch and enjoy. Like that could be a whole side conversation probably about comfort movies.
That makes me think about how like adaptable his character is, because we can imagine him in pretty much all of these different movies that he's been in.
Yeah.
Like, he can be a football player or an assassin. He can like be going into the Matrix and like all of these like different things. And, he's kind of like that like balance that like can connect to all these things. Like
brings
if I see like a little
balance to the
core
force.
or something, he like connects to all
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. I think it's his hair. His hair holds a lot of secrets.
I think it's his laid back like surfer attitude.
Yeah. True.
He's like calming. He's like a walking ASMR. Embodied.
Yeah.
Fair.
I don't
Although I
even
don't
have to
find that
hear
calming
him. I can still feel it.
All right, I mentioned tropes. I mentioned like sports tropes or like cliches. So, and there were several in this movie. Are there any that like stick out to you where you're like, oh yeah, that's a total sports movie cliche? Like one that sticks out to me is the comeback where like Shane is kicked off the team and then the team is down 17-0, and then he comes in at halftime, makes out with the cheerleader, and then leads the team to a comeback. Like that's a cliche.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
even just like, Keanu's character having to prove himself. Like, I'm the replacement, but, I don't have to be. I can be a starting quarterback. Like, I have the talent. Like, I'm good for this. I'm good enough to, like, play here.
Yeah. I think mine is the love interest of the athlete never wants the athlete back until the end of the movie. Like, another movie that stuck out to me when I think of that is Happy Gilmore,
Yeah.
where he wants whoever it is. I
Julie
forget.
Bowen, I think.
Yeah,
is the-
yeah, thank you. Julie Bowen. And she's like, oh, no, I don't date golfers. And he's like, well, I'm not a golfer. I'm a hockey player. And I feel like that was the same exact thing in this. And she's like, oh, I don't date football players. And he was like, not even quarterbacks. And she's like, definitely not quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I
And
feel
I'm
like
okay.
I feel like she was interested in him from the beginning. Like, since they had
Yeah,
that whole
they
like,
always
2
play hard
minutes
to get.
where they were like staring at each other
Yeah.
the entire time.
Yeah. They had a perfect opportunity there, by the way, to introduce that she had dated that previous quarterback and he was a jerk. And
is
then
that what
they broke
happened?
up. No, they never said. So that's just my headcanon because it's the only thing that makes sense, Alex.
See, I'm asking. I thought you could fix this for me.
It's the only it's my fan fiction that I've written in my head now because it just didn't make sense otherwise. The last there's also like The Big Game is another one. Just the win or go home kind of thing.
Yeah.
The last second victory, won the last pass. Oh, we totally forgot to mention that the one of the receiver, the deaf receiver is the dude in The Office.
In The Office.
Yeah, he's Pam's boyfriend.
Oh,
in The
really?
Office before
I've never
Roy.
seen The Office.
Pam's boyfriend.
That's him?
Roy, yes. But he's all like young and
Yeah,
kind of
he
like
looks like
cute.
a baby there.
Yeah.
I did not recognize him.
Yeah, I know. Oddly enough, he was like, aside from Keanu, the first person I recognized. I'm all, it's Roy. It's Pam's
I did not
boyfriend."
catch that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, is this like the first thing he did? Because David Denman is his name. I remember seeing him in like anything else prior to 2000. So that was crazy. But yes, the last second victory, Hail Mary to him. The Lovable Underdogs is another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another trope where you're rooting for them. I thought it was funny, Alex, how you're like, I expected them to suck. And then they suck for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, they didn't.
But then
suck.
they win their second game. And even the first game, they like almost won.
Yeah.
And I turned to my husband and I'm like, this is super unrealistic because you're going to go get these scrubs off the street. They're actually going to really suck. And he's all, didn't you say that this was based on a true story? And I was like, oh, crap. Yeah, it is. So I guess it's not that unrealistic.
Wait, really?
Because that's literally what happened. So
No, it's not like the whole thing. The only part that's like pretty much true is that the NFL went on strike.
the Washington Redskins went on strike. Yeah.
Oh, that's why it was in Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though it was actually filmed in Baltimore.
But this was like back in the 80s.
But did they come back and like
Yeah, they got
be
replacements.
really good?
They got replacements, and the team won like several games, like their replacement team, and then the Redskins ended up going on to win the Super Bowl that year.
Oh, wow.
And I was reading how none of the replacement players got any recognition or anything because they didn't play in the Super Bowl. And it wasn't until like a few years ago that the Redskins decided like, oh, we're gonna retroactively give Super Bowl rings to those replacement players. They're the Washington
team that's
football team.
now called the Washington football
team.
team.
Yeah.
So that was pretty crazy. I was like, I guess if it's based on a true story, anything can happen.
Yeah, for real. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's some crazy trivia about this movie. Like, I don't know, connected to Keanu Reeves had to gain 23 pounds to play
Oh, wow.
He did?
Falco. Yeah.
He didn't even look like he gained.
He just looked like a normal dude.
Wow, I hope he was okay before that. I'm glad he got the gig.
Yeah. He was also offered a tryout by the Baltimore Ravens, who went on to win the Super Bowl that year, like right after that movie came out, which is weird. Keanu could have played for the Ravens.
See, Keanu just brings good luck, good cheer, just good vibes.
That's what the Cardinals are missing. We're missing Keanu on the
Yeah.
sidelines. Keanu and Kyler could team up. Yeah,
That's probably all he needs.
what else was happening around the time? Like, this came out in 2000. Like, where were you guys in August of 2000? Like, did you see replacements in the theaters?
No. As I mentioned, I was 10.
Yeah, I was 2. I was probably taking a nap or something.
What was happening?
Your mama's watching it while you're taking a nap. I don't think, to me, as a 13-year-old, I don't think I saw a movie with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman on the like poster and thought, I gotta go see that. That was not on my radar.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't even know this movie existed before just recently.
Yeah. So I feel like if I go back and I watch an older movie, anytime I do it, I always want to pull up the review on Rotten Tomatoes, like, because historically I've disagreed with critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and I usually agree with the audience, but not always. Sometimes I disagree with all of it. The one that sticks out in my mind is The Greatest Showman. When that came out, it just got bombed by critics, and it's like just one of my favorite movies ever. So I never listen to like critic reviews, but I always have to check them out. Like, I always have to at least see what they are. So The Replacements, according to Rotten Tomatoes, has a 41% critic review and 66% audience score. How do we feel about that?
66%?
Yeah,
What are you
do
looking
we
at?
feel like
Oh, on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay.
do we feel like that is like an accurate
I
assessment?
honestly thought Rotten Tomatoes would give this less than 41%. I would see it more like a 38%. So I guess it's around the same range, but to see you over 40, that to me is like surprising. Because again, I mean, I guess because it is entertainment and it's a goofball kind of like movie. The 66%, because I'm looking, because I just Googled it and it said that 80%, 87% of Google users, whoever voted, like this movie. I don't know how much I can really trust Google. I think, yeah. I think it's just random people going there. If you like the movie, you're going to go and tell Google that you like it.
Right. It's got a 6.6 out of 10 rating on IMDb.
See, that's pretty good too. I think that's good. That's a watchable movie. And I would agree with that. I would agree that The Replacements is definitely a watchable movie.
Yeah.
Even though there's all these plot holes and this ridiculousness that doesn't really connect, it's still a good watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'd put it at like a 6.8, maybe 6.9.
Yeah, if you were to give this a grade, like, this is 101, I guess. Yeah,
Keanu.
101. What grade would you give the movie itself? What grade would you give Keanu? Yeah, what about those two? The movie and Keanu. Because this is, we are talking about Keanu.
All right, I'll give the movie a C.
A C? Okay.
Solid C.
You're more generous than me. I would give it a D+.
Okay.
I would do a C too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I think if you take Keanu out of the equation, it probably drops down.
Yeah, definitely.
sure.
Definitely. It
Justin.
wouldn't even be a movie.
Keanu's performance, see, this is hard because he, like I said, I don't feel like he turns in like bad performances.
Exactly.
necessarily.
And I think this is why Keanu's a good match for this kind of like one-on-one thing because you can. I feel like Keanu is the kind of person that doesn't really have range in his acting, but you can range him in his performances in the movies that he's been in. Does that make sense?
He's played a lot of different times.
Yeah, you can kind of like, because I think there can be one movie that kind of like vibes with him a little more.
Yeah.
I would give Keanu a C in his performance for this one.
Yeah, I went like a B minus.
Yeah, I would just probably go with a straight B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not writing home about this movie. You know what I mean? I'm not phoning up my friend and being like, bro, have you seen The Replacements? Like, you
Yeah.
got to check that out. But if it comes on an app and it's streaming and I have nothing to do on a Sunday night,
Yeah.
I'll go
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
So speaking of, it's on the Peacock app. It's on,
Yo,
HBO
Peacock
Max.
is coming up right now, I feel.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're really trying to give you some content, some entertainment to watch.
That Peacock app keeps like roping me back in.
It does, and it's not that expensive either.
Yeah.
And you can still watch it. You just have to watch the ads.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
true.
too bad.
All right, so if they remade this movie today, if they remade Replacements in 2022, I mean, it's been like 22 years. They could
Yeah.
potentially remake it. Who would you cast as your quarterback, Shane Falco?
I think about what if the movie was remade, but instead it was like a basketball movie
Okay.
or like another sports movie. No. All right. So if I can make this sense. All right. So it'll be the same plot. Everything will be the same, but the actors that are playing these roles. So LeBron James will be playing the quarterback.
Oh, got it. Okay, I got you.
Or and maybe like another like other sports. Like David Ortiz will play Orlando Jones.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
players that don't play this sport would be playing
Tim Tebow.
the remake. Yeah. That's what I wonder. Like I would just to like have fun with it. Just you're being replaced by other professional athletes in other sports.
That'd be kind of funny. I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see A-Rod playing like the jerk.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, that you'd be good at that.
Yeah. Trying to think. Trying to go like off the rails.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I had one that stuck out to me that was really easy to think of. If I made this now, who I would want to be the kicker, who's scrawny and wiry and smoking all the
I
time.
feel like I know where this is going.
MGK.
I knew it was going to be either MGK or Pete Davidson, but Pete Davidson isn't known for somebody that smokes like that. So
Yeah.
MGK.
Yeah. I thought Reese Ifans, tall, skinny, blonde.
Yeah.
Who's your
He's
favorite?
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
True. That's actually really good.
And then I was thinking like, I don't know, the quarterback was hard because at first I thought Zac Efron.
See, that's the first one that came to my mind.
Zac Efron.
Yeah. Just because he's built and like young still. But
I feel like that
also,
creates a completely different movie. It'll still be funny because he's been in comedies, Zac Efron.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like he has more personality than
True.
So
maybe Robert
Keanu Reeves.
Pattinson.
Oh, Robert Pattinson. He'd be like the emo quarterback. His hair's in front of his eyes.
Kristen
just came
Stewart's
from
a
the other
cheerleader.
Oh my gosh. Yes, let's reunite them. I was thinking Liam Hemsworth might make a good quarterback
yeah, I can see that.
because he's cute.
He's
and
old though,
kind
right?
of unproblematic. Yeah, but aren't they supposed to be a little older, like kind of aged out?
The
of...
only old quarterback right now is the GOAT, Tom Brady.
Yeah, you got
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is old too.
Yeah.
Who's older, Tom Brady or Aaron?
Tom Brady is
Brady.
older. He's like 40 something.
Tom Brady's 44.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both
Out of the playoffs.
But Liam.
Yeah, they're both out of the
You
playoffs.
said who? Liam Hemsworth. Oh,
Liam Hemsworth.
I'm thinking of Liam Nelson.
Oh, Liam Neeson? No,
Neeson.
dude, he's like
Oh,
that
these
would be a
names.
totally
From
different movie.
Taken. He'll get
Oh
taken.
shoot, though, but he would make a good like Gene Hackman.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Like, he could make a good.
True.
But that also kind of changes that movie because he's like, I need a quarterback with a particular skill.
Oh man, he's gonna find one for sure.
Oh man. I was it was interesting to try to like fan cast this. I was thinking I would want Haley Joel Osment somewhere in there because if you've seen him in any sort of recent anything, Haley Joel Osment, like the kid from The Sixth Sense, it's like I See Dead People.
Oh,
All right, so he's all grown up now and like bearded and like big and hefty.
is he anything where I can see him now?
You can see him in Drunk History.
I want to know what he looks like. What's his name?
Haley Joel Osment. He's like big and hefty now, and I envision him like being one of the linemen, or maybe even being like Jon Favreau's character that's just like angry and beating up
Oh
on
yeah,
people a
this
lot.
guy.
Yeah, he's
He would be great as Jon Favreau. I can see him as Jon Favreau's character.
yeah, he's got a lot of range.
Oh yeah, he's really good.
yeah.
He's a beast.
was
Honestly,
in-
I've seen him do some really good
He's been
stuff.
in a lot of little one-off like things lately, so I don't know. And then I was thinking Lamorne Morris from New Girl could play Orlando Jones' character because he's super funny. And you need someone like
Wait, who?
goofy.
Sorry, I missed
Lamorne Morris from New Girl.
Which one's-
Winston.
Winston. Oh
Yeah.
man, I love him.
Yeah. Because you need somebody like really good at being just goofy.
Yeah.
Kevin
He's
Hart.
Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart would be a good like quarterback. Could you imagine? He'd be like
I
Kyler
can-
Murray. He'd be like the little short quarterback in the back.
That'd be funny.
It would just have to be Kevin Hart not yelling all the time.
Yeah.
Which he's getting to now. He's like becoming a new actor.
Yeah. You really want to switch up this movie. Put in like Kevin Hart at the quarterback. The Rock as
Yeah.
the coach.
Imagine
Yeah. I was thinking, I'm like, where can I put The Rock? Because I think of the game plan is him and the quarterback.
Bring in John Cena as John Favreau's character.
Jeez.
Like,
Yeah.
just get the biggest,
man.
like, caricature actors that you can find.
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh man.
Mark Wahlberg was in a sports movie. So that's the other thing is once we
Yeah.
watched this, it got me thinking about all the other like sports movies that I really like. That are some that are really funny, some are like really inspirational.
Yeah.
Invincible. is the
Invincible.
one.
Yep. I just watched that the other
Invincible.
day.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good movie. Well, I think it is. I like it.
Yeah. So if you like The Replacements, other movies that you might like would be Invincible.
Yes.
What
for
else?
sure.
Is it funny? Is it like one of those?
It's more heartwarming.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got some moments.
Okay, I don't know why this one keeps popping in my head, but I just think of when I think of The Replacements too, I think of The Game Plan.
Oh yeah.
Even though that's more so of like a little
The
kid
Rock.
family movie type thing, but I do love that movie.
Good one.
I think of like The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
I feel like they might because they feel like the same movie. And the thing is, I don't even think I've watched clips of The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it feels like they're
Yeah, that's
similar.
very comparable. Those two, for sure. All right. Is that it? We feel like we dove deep into The Replacements.
I mean, we gave them a grade. We talked about the movie. We talked about each character. We talked about the scenes.
oh, we did miss one really fascinating fact that I feel like we can't miss, which is that the guy who played the guy. So they pull a guy out of prison,
the guys.
right?
Okay.
They pull the dude out of prison, right?
Uh-huh.
They change his name
Yeah.
and put him on the roster to play. And then later, after the movie,
He's
that
arrested.
actor actually like killed his wife.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Dude.
I
What are we
think I've
talking
heard of
about
it.
right now?
Yeah. Michael, so his name was Michael Jace. He played the Wilkinson character who they pull out of jail.
Oh, really?
That doesn't wanna go
Oh,
actually-
that's upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's
actually went to
bad.
jail for like second-degry murder.
Wow, that sucks.
I was like, life imitating art. Yeah.
That sucks.
That was a real sketch. Yeah, I felt like that was worth mentioning
Yes.
because it's really weird when you're watching a movie and you're like, wow, that guy killed a guy. Or I guess a woman. That guy killed somebody.
Wow.
That's
Anyway.
funny.
Yeah.
Not funny, but
I don't know if I know him from anything else.
I don't think he's been in anything else, probably because he got arrested and
yeah,
went to
he's
jail.
probably in jail.
Oh man.
There you go. There you have it. The Replacements.
Yeah, there's some
Keanu?
backstory there. Yeah.
Episode 1, X01. All right, so next time on our Keanu Sans episode, special series, because it's going to be Valentine's Day, we have to choose a Keanu rom-com,
Oh,
a Keanu com.
rom-com.
Okay.
Keanu com. I love what you're doing here. Keanu Sans. That's great. I love
Isn't
that.
it good?
Keanu con, yeah.
You can kind of wrap Keanu's name into most
Yeah.
other words. So the best, I mean, I think maybe not the best, but definitely the most memorable rom-com. It's not even a rom-com. I guess it's just a rom. It's just a romantic film that Keanu's been in is The Lake House.
Is this like The Notebook?
You're going to have to wait and see, Alex.
Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
I don't know if I can
Keanu Reeves.
wait through The
and
Notebook.
Sandra Bullock. It is not like The Notebook because it does not have Ryan Gosling. It has Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
All right,
So it is different.
I'm going to do this one.
So we are going to be watching The Lake House. We are going to be doing a deep dive into The Lake House just in time for Valentine's Day. So if you're listening to this episode and you're like, wow, I too would like to take a deep dive into Keanu Reeves'
Hold on.
career.
Wasn't The Notebook by a lake?
Move past The Notebook,
Yeah.
Alex. It's not the same movie.
I've never
okay?
seen The Notebook, so
It's
I wouldn't
actually
know.
very different.
Oh, there's just a lot of rain.
I don't even know if it's a Nicholas
Oh my
Sparks
gosh.
thing. I don't even think it's the same. As one who doesn't
man.
like The Notebook, I actually enjoy The Lake House a great deal. So if you guys want to come on our Keanu Renaissance with us, find The Lake House, watch it so you're ready to go, find a significant other or,
Would
your
there be
cat.
a notebook in the lake house?
Oh my god.
There's a mailbox. So that's pretty close.
Just wait and see.
They write letters.
I'm going to watch it.
You
All
can
right.
write in your notebook your notes for the movie.
That's what I did with this one, actually. I didn't even bring it.
I'll be watching it by myself, so
good.
all my other single people out there, we can reminisce in that fact
Yes.
and how lonely we are.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So watch The Lake House. Well, first go watch The Replacements if you haven't already, and then go watch The Lake House and be ready for our next Keanu-centric episode when we do a deep dive for Valentine's Day. That was fun.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I feel good about this Keanu phase of our
Yeah,
life.
at first, I wasn't, I knew we would talk a lot. We can talk a lot of Keanu.
Mm-hmm.
But when I sat down, I was like, damn, can we actually talk Keanu right now for all this time? But there's a lot to say when you're
lot of-
breaking down a movie, I guess.
Keanu-versation.
Keanu.
No, I couldn't do that one. I couldn't do that. All right, before we go, let's tell everybody where they can find us. Alex, where can our listeners find you on social
I'm at ALCASNUN on Twitter and Instagram.
Nicole?
You can find me, Nicole, on Instagram and TikTok at Nicole_Eldridge and on Twitter at NAEldridge14.
And you can find me, Hayley, on Instagram at 30NerdyThriving. And as always, you can find all of us on our website, www.popculturejunkie.com. You can also find us on Facebook. Come join the Pop Culture Junkie support group. Right now, happening on Facebook, we are getting all of our nominations for the Junkies Choice Awards. We need your guys' feedback. We need your comments. Hop on there, find our page, Pop Culture Junkie, and give us your nominations for the Junkies Choice Awards. We want to hear from you. You can find us on Twitter at Pop Junkies and, of course, on Instagram at pop.culturejunkies. And be sure to come back next week for a regular episode and get another hit of pop culture.
Pop Culture Junkie is a production of Pop Culture Entertainment Group. All rights reserved.